Good morning. Welcome to Champion School of Real Estate live broadcast. I'm Rita Santamaria. I'm the owner, the CEO of Champion School of Real Estate. And live broadcast is the delivery method that we have talked with so many of your offices about, in that we can bring at no charge all of our quarterly updates, all of our special guests to your companies. And it's our way of saying thank you for your business all of these years. And without question, your business has allowed Champion School of Real Estate to grow to Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, certainly Houston, 3 locations online, as well as now live broadcast. So it's my pleasure to always think about what would our agents like to know? What can we give to them that will help you build your business, make more money? Because when you win, we win, and we figured that out since 1983. So this morning, I have a lot of good things in store to talk about. And what I love about being able to do live broadcast is we can go from one theme to another, so that when you're out and about in the industry and with your farm area, those particular clients, customers that want your expertise, you certainly have a little bit of current information that I hope will help you be more credible and just be up to date on things that are happening. First of all, I'm going to quote from our Houston Realtor magazine, which is awesome. The first discussion is on Hurricane Harvey and the impact on the real estate business in Houston, and basically 4 counties and multiple other cities and towns in our area. But the Hurricane Harvey hammers Houston housing, and I love that picture. And as difficult, as very serious as it sounds, I want to give you some specifics. And those specifics being, Harvey destroyed 203 homes. That was the latest count. And about $23 billion worth of property were affected by the flood. And buyers can certainly expect to pay just a little bit more for those homes that didn't flood. So for those of you that do have those properties that didn't, what we're told by those that make all of those good predictions, being quote from our industry, local industry, as well as our recon, our real estate research center, is that if you had multiple times that your property has flooded, it may only be worth the lot value. We know in the Houston region, and for those of you all around the state, because I know we have our customers everywhere in the state of Texas, and I'm so excited to be able to say hello to all of our wonderful students and agents and brokers that have given us great business over the years. When people ask what's going on in the Houston area after the flood, we're rebuilding. We're back in shape. It has come back into a very good market very quickly. It's not anything that would be surprising to say that certainly those homes that did flood will decrease in value, and we're told if it's a first-time flood, anywhere from around 18 to 20%, and hopefully that 1,000-year flood is not going to come back, but who knows. And what is the impact on real estate agents when they're out taking listings now? Well, it's not any different in that we've always known that if you know that a neighborhood flooded, if you know that a specific home is flooded and possibly the seller doesn't want to tell the truth, you know that you must indeed tell the truth. And indeed let the seller know that she must disclose that the property did flood. And when, and dates would be very, very important. Perhaps it flooded in May 2016, did not flood in August of 2017, or vice versa. So we know that those particular properties that did not flood at all will have a more valuable listing appreciation value than those that did. It has certainly been remarkable to see how the agents and brokerages in the Houston region have helped so many of our population in the area with fundraisers and donations. And I know at Champion School of Real Estate all over the state, we collected food and clothing and all that was on our list from FEMA that would help those, and had them trucked down from all over the state. Not any different from every company out there. It was definitely a very heartwarming sight to see how we all chipped in and helped all of those that needed help. And speaking of chipping in and help, the FHA has even done so with a program called 203H. And you might want to write that down. The FHA disaster loan called 203H allows the consumer to buy a home at 100% with no down payment, and they don't use their other mortgage to qualify for it. So that is certainly super news for those that had to walk away from their homes that were flooded, damaged, they can't get back into. So let me also give you the website. If you go to the portal, go https:// two slash forwards, as you know, and then portal.hud.gov/HUD portal/HUD 203H. And hopefully you won't have any difficulty finding that particular website. But what a very helpful new loan that FHA has put together. And so let me give you just some other stats that I think you'll be interested to know. For example, before Harvey hit the Houston region, the 2017 stats looked as though we would have a record-breaking year. In fact, 2016 compared to 2017 year-to-date, we were certainly going in that direction. I think it is extremely surprising to know that after Hurricane Harvey, we are still positioned to be a couple of percentage points higher in overall business and production as 2016. But just to give you what our Houston Association of Realtors October 2017 Houston Realtor Magazine does specifically say, and these are great things for you to read, obviously, when they come across your desk if you're an agent in this area, because we never know when someone's going to walk up to us and ask a question about how did the flood affect property values, affect homes, affect real estate in Houston. And I want to give you just a personal experience on that. Yesterday, Champion School of Real Estate had the pleasure of always having a table at the Nancy Owens Foundation Breast Cancer Awareness Luncheon, which is always amazing and a great fundraiser. Afterwards, Kimberly Didelowitz, the president of our company, and myself were going over some Austin plans that she had brought down from Dallas. And we were just looking very serious at these plans, and a very nicely dressed gentleman walked up to us and said, "You two look like you're in real estate. How many times has that happened to you?" He said, "Tell me, what is your opinion as to the effect of Harvey on real estate in Houston?" As it turns out, he was one of our city councilmen in Houston, which was very surprising. Now I'm going to take that thought and move over quickly to something else. I specifically wore my name badge today because those of you that know Alan Hancock, our MCE teacher, he always says by wearing your name badge, it is giving permission for anyone to strike up a conversation with you. And when you're in sales, in real estate sales, be it commercial, residential, property management, whatever area you're in, most definitely we are always looking for new business. And yesterday I had my name badge on, and I feel very confident. That's why he felt comfortable to strike up a conversation. Right after that, one other thing, your business cards. We talked for a few minutes, and then he said, "Do you have a card?" And I said, "Absolutely." Opened up my business card case, gave him a card. Okay, those are the basics, but point being, it works. So even though I love to just thread some marketing things in, it was just a reminder to all of us, it works. So with this question, I went into how agents were certainly busy right after the flood finding temporary housing. I know we also have on MLS a temporary housing link where you can put properties there that you are able to give people a temporary short-term lease on. So go to the MLS in the Houston region and check that regularly if you have clients that need temporary housing still. And but in our magazine, it mentioned that total property sales from August 2016 to August 2017, comparing apples to apples, was down 24%. No surprise. Dr. Gaines Research Center said it's going to come up really quickly. Total dollar volume, well, if the sales are down, the dollar volume is going to be down. It's down 22%. Total active listings up 12.4%. Single family home sales, that of course an effect, down 25%. However, the good news now being the average sales price is up almost 3%. The medium sales price is up 3%. And inventory has been at around 4.2 months and 4 months. The actual inventory is just almost stable at 4.2 months as well. Just a little less than 0.5% increase in inventory since Harvey. And then single family pending sales down almost 5%. But NAR says across the U.S., the number of inventory months on market across the U.S. is right at about 4 months, which we know is a very good market for sellers. And even in our Houston region, certainly our market is very still robust for buyers looking for properties. Now, the other side of that coin is, do you want to guess how long it generally takes for the general public to forget about an earthquake, a flooding, a mudslide, fires, that kind of natural disaster? We're told that anywhere between 4 years to 6 years, and it's sort of wiped out of the minds of buyers and sellers as to the effect that these disasters had on properties. But again, for agents, it certainly means that we don't ever forget, and that we disclose. So some outcome of that for agents: property insurance lessons from a hurricane. The outcome of Harvey that buyers we know are going to be asking is, did this property flood? And most definitely agents now, and please write this down, are going to need to be more conscious of retention ponds in the neighborhood where they sell, detention ponds, which hold the water, and certainly levees, certainly dams. And as one smart instructor said, frankly, I think we should just encourage all buyers that move into our coastal regions to get flood insurance, period. So we will have to keep up with the history of what happened with the levees, with the dams, and certainly disclose that information to buyers down the road. I think another outcome that surprised a lot of people is now the debate. You made it through the flood, which was an act of nature. We used to call it an act of God. Most of our textbooks have changed it to act of nature. Flood insurance, helping those who flooded due to an act of nature. Then we had the levees and the dam that opened up, which was not an act of nature, it was an act of government. So we need to really find out more information about the difference. If you are in a real estate office joining us today, that would be a great thing to ask your particular attorneys of record that you use. What type of information should you have on hand to let buyers know the consequence that affects their property insurance if it's an act of nature versus an act of government? Something really surprising that came out of this, there's a tech company in Houston that was aware of all of the volunteers moving all over from Beaumont to Victoria to Corpus Christi, Rockport, certainly the Houston region, and those volunteers didn't really know where to go. So this very smart company, and I'm giving them a shout out, it's called Disaster Connect. They put an app together that would allow in any disaster for volunteers to know where they are most needed. So we might want to keep up with that app, and what a smart, helpful thing that was for the tech company to develop. So that would be the information that I wanted to bring to you specifically for the Houston region. And now let's move a little bit around the state. And I want to hit Austin next because Austin's summer was the strongest summer of record for real estate housing. And Travis and Williamson County, that particular MSA, the Metropolitan Statistical Area, single-family home median price rose 4% to $300,000. So agents in the Austin area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, San Antonio, Houston, summer was very, very good. But for Austin, it was absolutely the strongest they've ever had and record-breaking. And single-family homes in Austin rose 6.1% year-over-year comparison. The home sales dollar value tripled $1 billion in that region for a single month. Great sales, very strong. And that was within the 5-county area of Austin, an increase of almost 6% from August of 2016. All over across the state, just some information that I think you might find very interesting. Of the 11 most populated cities in the U.S., 11 most populated cities in the U.S., 4 are in the Texaplex, and Houston was number 4, and number 7 is San Antonio, number 9, Dallas, and they did not connect Dallas-Fort Worth as a DFW area. It was simply Dallas standalone. And then number 11 was Austin. So our major metros were all in the top 11 most populated. But I want to also share with you something that I find pretty staggering, and it's Texas population projected growth. And what I'm repeating now is from the Texas State Demographer's Office, or Demographer's Office, whichever way you want to pronounce it. But this is projected growth for our Texas metropolitan areas. Currently, Austin is at 2 million, again, give or take. In 2030, Austin will grow by 1 million people, projected growth to 3 million by 2050. Of course, I won't be around to see if this is right or wrong, but that's okay. Austin will grow to 5.3 million by 2050. The DFW region currently is at 7 million. Again, when I mention these stats currently, how often do you have one of your prospects, you're driving around in the car, or it's a commercial agent meeting with a client, and they say, well, what is the population, the demographics in your area? These type of figures, we should all pretty much have a very good figure top of mind. The DFW region currently at 7 million. 2030, it will go to 10 million, a 3 million growth in population. But my goodness, by 2050, 16.7 million in growth. The Houston region, and currently we would be taking in 4 counties with this particular number, 6.6 million currently, 9.3 million 2030, 2050, 14.4 million in the Houston region. And I love these particular figures, especially for our commercial people, as they bring in all of the out of the country and out of the city companies that want to relocate for retail and office building and all of those wonderful companies that allow homes to also be more home buyers, more prolific in our market area. San Antonio, in their particular region, currently 2.4 million. 2030, it will grow by another million of around 3.2 million. And 2050, it should grow 4.1 million. So Austin, San Antonio, growth by a million, pretty much on track over those years. DFW, Houston by multi-millions during those time periods. That should make everyone feel pretty excited about what's coming down the road with growth of our Texas. Then over the next 35 years, if we brought all of our metros in together, over the next 35 years, we combine that population growth, it would be the same in the next 35 years of adding an entire DFW region to an entire Houston region to an entire Austin region to an entire San Antonio region, and then adding all of Los Angeles to the growth of population. And of course, we like to coin the word and say the Texaplex, which takes in all of those major metros. So that is what is expected to happen over the next couple of years with growth in Texas. A couple of things on the commercial side. A joint industry survey confirmed that less than 7% of Houston's commercial properties suffered damage, and of that, 45% has already been repaired. And Marcus and Millichap on local retail projections has said that deliveries will outpace absorption this year, pushing up a vacancy to 3.5%. And yet also at the same time, we have a lot of new deliveries coming in from developers. And the Marcus and Millichap report that just came out in October actually says that we do have a tight vacancy, which will prompt asking rents to increase 4.3%. So again, that's very positive, especially having gone through what we went through. Again, I just always like to throw in McAllen, because McAllen is such an interesting place to see the growth and how quickly it has grown and the direction it's growing. And vacancy rates declined down to 5.3% in the second quarter, and on the commercial side. And they are just building, and residential sales are great there. The city fathers have realized, I'm told, a lot of extra income from retirees and people that have moved from California, Florida, Arizona to the Valley, and they are putting up some amazing structures, and their whole vision of a beautiful region is coming together. So McAllen is in good shape still on the commercial as well as the residential. And we thank those people. They tend to use our live broadcast as well as our online delivery for getting their real estate hours. On January the 7th, Dr. Jim Gaines will be here, and I'll be interviewing Dr. Gaines as well as pretty much turning it over to him to give us our 2018 forecast. So please mark that on your calendar for January the 7th, same time, 9:30, and it will be a good hour of being able to know what to expect all over our state for 2018. Going to change direction here for the next little bit of time. And as I always like to do, I like to move into information that I know will help you in your business. They may be new ideas. They may be reminders that we all need to know. It's always fun when I tune in or attend a coach in real estate and hear what they have to say. And you and I both know it's reminding us, whether it's commercial or residential agents, reminding us to do the things we know we should be doing, and yet we pay our coaches to keep us on track. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing because it definitely helps make you more productive. So I want to talk a little bit about a new theme that seems to be out there on all national real estate publications, and it's about myths in real estate and the futurist in real estate. And whenever I hear that word futurist, I can't help but always identify with Alan Hancock, who is the most futurist instructor in person I've ever met. He's always the most up-to-date with technology and what's happening in the marketplace. And certainly you know him as our MCE instructor. So let's talk about and rethink what may be a myth, what may not be true, that might possibly hurt our business or even just send us in the wrong direction. And first of all, I just want to hit generational, because I feel guilty about this. For such a long time, I did a lot of talks on generational selling. And I would always start out by saying these are stereotypical ideas. And yeah, I want to come back to that topic right now and just say some of the things we thought about different generations may not be so true. We have found out. And one of those being that we were told that our seniors like to age in place, that they love the community they raise their family in, they love the house they like to raise their family in, and that we could expect that most seniors would stay in the house, in the neighborhood of the one where they have the most memories, and again, high schools, middle schools, where their children went to school. And we're finding that's not true. That as the kids get out of school and the kids are older and the grandchildren come on board, that they are moving to other areas. And those areas, for example, possibly being, if you were in the Houston area, Galveston. If you were in the San Antonio area, maybe in Corpus Christi or South Padre. Or go even further, go to the mountains, or maybe to another state close to the seashore. So what we can't really depend on is that they will age in place. So sending out our marketing materials to senior communities and knowing that if we have that wonderful listing on the lake somewhere, like LBJ, Lake Austin, Lake Conroe, wherever your favorite lake is, send it to some of our neighborhoods that are older neighborhoods, because facts have shown us that our seniors actually are moving away from the neighborhoods that they raise their families in. Another myth is not all Gen X people are technology fluent, technology in love with technology. In fact, some of our Gen X people have said there are too many pressures on me in life to have to reach out to all forms of social media. I have certainly email, and I have Instagram, and I have Facebook, and I have Twitter, and then I have my business that I need to do with reaching out to people physically and being there physically, as well as telephone and networking groups. So not all Gen X people are the ones that have done their homework to narrow a neighborhood down or a certain number of homes in order to look at them prior to visiting with you. So we've just found that's a little bit different than what we had thought originally. Not all Gen Y people move from job to job. That was another myth that we had told to us a few years back, in that a lot of Gen Y people, they get involved with something and then they are always looking for the grass to be greener on the other side of the fence. Not so. In fact, I just want to throw out something that has been almost research done in our own business, where we get a lot of college graduates that come in to get their real estate license to make it their one-time permanent job, so that they have a career for their life and they can be their own boss, entrepreneur, and that follows right on the coattail of, if you are a younger person, please don't let anyone tell you that you won't be successful in real estate. That's another myth. It's all about you. It's all about how you practice your business. It's all about taking care of your customer. And at the same time, those of you that have already retired and feel as though retirement is not where you want to stay, we know that retired people also make excellent real estate agents. You get extra credit. We get extra credit for being a little more experienced in life, but either age, it works. And on the Gen Y side, I encourage you next week to join me Tuesday morning next week at 9:30, because we have Rogers Healy. Rogers Healy is a Gen Y agent, broker in the Dallas region, and he will be here. I'll be interviewing him for a little over an hour next Tuesday morning. And let me just mention, Rogers started selling real estate when he was going to SMU University, and started his career at that point. He is the agent to many, many professional sports athletes in the DFW area. He also has sold homes to well-known movie star, famous people that have chosen to stay and or have another additional home in the DFW area. And Rogers is going to tell you what inspired him to go into real estate, why he did it while he was attending SMU University, why he has grown his company, how he's grown his company, and frankly, how he got that wonderful gig called a niche of being able to sell to professional athletes. So he will be here next Tuesday at 9:30. You won't want to miss hearing Rogers Healy. I can't wait either. And Fox News interviews him to find out what's going on in real estate in the DFW area. So I'm excited to have him next Tuesday here in our studio. And I'm also thrilled that he is one of our loyal customers. Another item that I want to mention to you, the market being good, there's that myth that, oh great, I don't have to spend very much money on marketing because the market is good on its own. We know, and I've lived through 3 cycles going up and down with the market, and we know that when the cycle is up, eventually it is going to go down. And I've also personally learned as the founder of Champion School of Real Estate that in the downturn, that's when we market more than any other time. Because when the upturn takes place, then we are positioned to be ready to accept our wonderful agents that get back into the business, because some do drop out during the downturn, and those that are coming into the business because all of the media is so positive. So whether it is a wonderful hot market as it is today or a down market, we still know that markets change, and we need to have the right connections and the right tools to make it through any and every market. And again, having opened this school in December 1983, officially classes in 84. Yes, gosh, do the math. It has been a wonderful, wonderful, and is a wonderful, wonderful journey of being able to help agents all over the state of Texas with their real estate, continuing ed, and licensing needs. But at the same time, I love it that I'm able to tell my staff and teachers, yeah, it's a great market. If and when the market goes down as it did in 2009, 10, 11, 12, and 13, we know what to do in order to still have a good business. And so do you know what to do. You do all of those training techniques that we teach you in marketing, that you learn in a designation class, and we have to do them every day. Great hot market or a cooled off market, we have to do all of our marketing every single day. There was a story years ago from a broker that I respect so much. He has a very strong office, and he said, whenever an agent comes to me and says, gosh, I'm having a slow month or a slow week, but mainly a slow month, he says, show me your calendar, whatever kind of calendar they used, from the month before. The month before, seeing what the agent was involved in, did do, didn't do, dictates what happens your next month. So this month, you have a couple of closings, or if you're fortunate, you have at least one closing, and if you're really fortunate, a couple of closings, and you're rocking and rolling, and you're excited about that, but please don't drop the ball on what you do daily in order to keep the ball rolling. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention, which I always want to mention because this is our complimentary seminar to you, the 30 Days to Success that I wrote years ago. And it is how to get your business first 30 days of your new career. Along with it, you have a 30-day video. I stand in front of you with my book, and I tell you why you're going to do this daily activity, what it's going to do for you, how to do it, and then at the end of 30 days, I absolutely hope, believe you should have business. And then the cool thing is, start all over again for the next 30 days. I have very fine testimonials to the fact that new agents love it. Experienced agents say, yeah, it gets me back on track. If I have a slow week, slow couple of weeks, I get out the book and I review it and say, what did I forget to do? So always know, good market, down market, we must constantly keep up with our business and our training and the tools that make us successful. Another myth, zoning is the best for any town or city. I say that, certainly we could debate that all day long. Zoning is certainly good. Zoning is certainly not so bad. But I'm only saying it because now we're finding that mixed use property, my commercial people will be giggling or laughing, mixed use property is a good thing. Meaning you put the residential close to the commercial, maybe close to the industrial part, so that people are closer to where they work. And the idea of separating, again, it's a personal option, but from information that I've been reading, a mixed use community, a mixed use community is a good thing, and it's getting more and more popular because we know that our city fathers make sure there's landscaping and walking paths in a mixed use community, and yet you're not so far from where you work. And another myth, we're told, is that in the commercial area, in order for a shopping area to be successful, you must have anchor stores. And what we're seeing around the U.S. is the outdoor walk-around market centers where they're anchored, maybe by a fitness center. Maybe they are anchored by our chain retail stores that we love to go to, many of them considered to be maybe an outlet type store, that people enjoy being outside and walking around, and market centers are certainly very popular, as well as our malls that have anchor stores, department stores. Something that has moved into the marketplace as well is virtual offices, where when I was at Inman in January with Kimberly, the president of our company, and I mention that because we love to see what's going on around the nation, and it's impressive what you pick up from people and how they're doing business in different states, only to find out, and maybe this is old news to some of you, but in California, and I'm sure in other states, but specifically California, some of the offices have gone to using portable Airstream type RVs as an office, where the office is truly virtual. The agents work from home and they work with their virtual office. But if they need to meet someone, they call up their broker, their manager, and say, can you send the Airstream over to this address? Because I need to sit down with these people and do some work. And the Airstream is equipped with your whatever needs and tools that you would like to have. So that was really interesting, because one of the very top national producers that was interviewed at Inman is one who truly operates that way. It is a virtual company, and their office is an RV. Literally, yes, the Airstream. But that's a little unusual. And to think that, in fact, we would get to the point where brick and mortar is not necessary. We had that idea years past, like only 8 to 10 years ago, but we discovered that we do need a storefront. We do need brick and mortar. We do need to have the building as such, so that people know they can actually see, almost reach out and touch us. We are believable. And even in our virtual world that we have today, people want to know that you are a real company doing business where they feel connected somehow. Another myth that I want to move forward and talk about is buyers agents and sellers agents can't get along in a transaction. And in fact, we know that we can get along. We know when we attend a designation course, like any that are offered, we offer the RENE course, which is a NAR designation course. And with that particular course, the negotiation process is such that in teaching that course, it's how to not disclose confidential information, certainly to the other agent, but at the same time, we can get along with the cooperating agent. And that myth is really out the window agents should get along and most definitely work for the benefit of their clients. And another myth, this is out of the NRA member survey, and I always recommend you go to realtor.org, and you get such great information that you can use in your marketing materials. But in the old days, it was, oh, you only need to show 6 houses, go back to 3 houses, and then make them decide on one. That frankly just isn't going to work in our marketplace where there are so many different types of communities. We have resort communities, lakefront communities, communities close to water, any type of water, as well as in certain parts of the state. We've got some beautiful mountains in El Paso, and there are so many different communities that are within your own selling area that buyers want to see a lot. They want to see a lot. And NAR says if your mentality is old school, that you're going to limit the number of houses to 6 or 8, they're probably going to move to another agent who will show them other multiple homes in other multiple communities, be it a condo community versus a single family home, be it a brownstone type environment. So that is one that's a myth. Another myth is, and this is on the physical side of the house itself, is if you put in energy efficient windows or new windows, that you've upped the value of your property. And in fact, I wanted to bring this one forward because the article was so very interesting and said that in fact your energy savings for putting in all new windows, which is very expensive, is only about 3% on energy savings. But if you do better insulation, you're going to pay a third of the price and have better energy savings. And then the one that was at the top of the list is a smart thermostat. Installing your smart thermostats in any age home most definitely will help with energy savings. And I loved it because the article said the idea of changing out windows and saving money and energy efficient, actually a window is just a hole in the wall, and changing out your window, the hole is still there. Of course, you'll get a better window, but it was, no. If personally you're thinking about energy savings and adding a little more excitement to what you can show the cost of operating your home is, put in more insulation and add those new wonderful smart thermostats that you can even buy at franchised stores, big box stores. The most surprising of the myths that I enjoyed reading about was an article written by a professor at University of San Diego. And this professor, who holds a real estate license, wanted to do research on FSBOs. So his research on for sale by owners was frankly quite interesting, because he found that on average, FSBO listings sold on average 5.5% less than comparable properties sold through the MLS. And the other really interesting part of it is that when he wrote this article, which in fact, if you want to email me, Rita at championschool.com, I'll send over a copy of this article to you. The idea of FSBOs being very, very popular in a hot market like we have all over Texas, the FSBO interest is actually the very same that it has been for years. There's no more for sale by owner interest than there was years past. And in fact, in this article, it also says the percent of homes sold for sale by owner has not changed in years. And that percent of FSBO business tends to stay around 8%. So it was really a very interesting article. I think you might like to read it or use it in your office as well. And again, it was done by Professor Scarles out of the University of San Diego, and quite a very, very interesting article. So with the particular idea of myths being out there in real estate, I want to also bring forward some myths that really, frankly, bother me. And these are myths that take place when brokers come into our campuses. And as you know, for lunch during the students' time out of the classroom, which is a full hour, we're happy for brokers to come in and provide lunch for our students and talk about their businesses in a relaxed atmosphere for those who want to stay for lunch. But regularly we hear the old adage that 10% of the agents are doing 90% of the business, or you'll be out of business in 2 years, because half of agents are out of business in 2 years. Those are myths that are not true. They may have been true in old school years ago, but I always enjoy reading the renewal of licenses in Texas, for example. And at the end of the second year, those that renew at the end of the second year, it's anywhere from high 70 to 80%. And as far as who gets the lion's share of the business, it's kind of interesting. It's usually like a third, and a third. Top producers get a good hefty third, middle of the roaders get a good middle third, and new people get a third of the business. Another myth that I like to go in the classroom and talk about, and that is if you're a new agent, that you won't get any business for the first 6 months. And most definitely, we wouldn't want our brokers to tell that to new people they're interviewing, because that's just not true. And when you go and look at all of the different research that's been done, certainly the buyer profiles that's done by Realtor.org and other research, I think we would all be hard-pressed to find absolute etched-in-stone research that says one way or the other. You may remember in the first of the year, I had a couple of interviews with the longtime agent and the new agent. And one of our new agents in the Katy area, her first 6 months in the business, she went to 22 closings. Is that unusual? Absolutely, it's unusual. But to say and have it as a definitive that you won't have any business within the first 6 months, not true. It's all about the person. It's all about you. It's all about the tools that you use successfully on a daily basis. It's all about getting out, meeting and greeting your public, and networking with those people that will bring you business. We know that means that you are truly doing volunteer great work in your community, so they see you as a worker bee and they want to give you business. It also means, if you're on the commercial side, that you follow up with clients that contact you. And you hang in there, because commercial, I just personally believe, is more difficult than residential because it's more time consuming. There are so many different stages that you have to go through in order for the transaction to come together. Bottom line on commercial, residential, whatever it is communication. Communication is the key. Even when you hate to pick up the phone or email or text that particular client and say, sorry, no activity this week or this month, that is the best thing you can do for yourself. At least The minimum is they know you care about them. You demonstrate it by contacting them and saying, I wish I could say we had a showing yesterday or this week. Didn't happen, but here's what I'm doing for next week. So communication is the key to everything. And communication is what your clients expect on the buying side as well as on the selling side. And all of those are simple little reminders that we all know to do all day long. I also want to remind you that when you're in sales, you're constantly needing to be uplifted. And there is, frankly, not a lot of people out there to do that for you except for yourself. And whatever your reading list is, whatever your preference is, always make sure you have time for yourself, in that you're reading a sales book or you're reading a motivational book, along with the other types of books you enjoy. So when I do the quarterly update, I also like to do my recommended book list, so to speak. And I say it because I've read the books and I feel as though they will be helpful for people that are in the sales and real estate industry. So the first one that I want to mention, I actually can't take credit for, because Kimberly Didelowitz, my daughter and the president of our company in the North Dallas Plano region, she said to me, the New York Times bestseller, The Book of Joy. It's written by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. And I purchased the book, read it. You can see, honestly, my sticky notes here are my favorite passages that I like to refer to from time to time. I've bought a number of these books to give to different friends that have had certain occasions that, here, you'll enjoy this. Truly, in sales, you've got the up days, you've got the down days. You need to be in sales long enough to know that after the down day where the inspection or the appraisal ruined your transaction, there's always tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow you get that sale that's a whole lot easier. But these two well-known names, famous people, just talk about finding joy in daily life and also how to start out your morning and how to end your day. And it's a good one for your night bedside table to remind yourself when you wake up in the morning, how are you going to start your day in order to stay up, be positive. We know for a fact your clients, customers don't want to be spending all day or a couple hours with someone that finds the downside to everything. No one wants to do that. These two gentlemen remind you the whole world is that way, and how to find joy even when some days you don't feel so joyful. And the other book that I recommend is brand new, hot off the press, The Age of the Customer, Prepare for the Moment of Relevance. It's by Jim Blasingame. And this particular book brings you current with ideas and suggestions on, are you relevant? Is your business relevant? Are you doing things to keep yourself relevant, your office relevant, your company relevant? And there are some great exercises in there to use in your company to challenge agents to see how relevant are they, and then how to improve, whatever the skill is, how to improve. So the age of the customer, preparing for the moment of relevance, and then the Book of Joy. So you've got your tools, and then you've got what's also going to help you on the mental side of our business. I want to please remind you, we have every designation course that you might want to take, and they are nationally recognized designation courses. NAR member survey states that with just one designation course, you should add about $20,000 additional gross revenue to your income. And we offer the ABR, which is the most recognized designation in the U.S. We also offer the SRES, Senior Real Estate Specialist. We offer the Selling Specialist. We offer the designation RENE course. We offer how to price your property, and that's the national designation course on figuring out comps. It's all in our wonderful catalog, 2 pages with designation courses. And as well, if you're interested in farm and ranch, we have an awesome CE course for farm and ranch as well. Dave Wyatt teaches that. He is in the market area for great farm and ranch sales in Brenham area, and he is a wonderful broker instructor for that course, as well as commercial courses we offer for CE. And I love it because over the years, our goal at Champions has always been to be able to offer you the delivery that you would prefer, whether it's in the traditional brick and mortar classroom, whether it is live broadcast as today, where in fact the instructor is in front of you. In fact, Rosemary Bickford is down the hall teaching the accredited luxury home sales course yesterday and today. She's teaching it to a number of people on screen. They can ask questions. She sees their hand, she answers it. She's also able to move them into breakout rooms so that they can, in fact, do scenario study. And we offer that delivery for all of our real estate, loan, inspector, appraiser, and business etiquette courses. So any delivery that works for you, whether it's online, whether it's live broadcast, whether it's brick and mortar traditional, it's all about you. And we most definitely know you have a very busy lifestyle, and our goal in our classes is to bring you totally up to date. In fact, in the CE class, you learn about artificial intelligence and how the platform called Skylar 360 has developed the artificial intelligent assistant that helps you save time, and certainly time is money. And then as well, we bring you up to date on technology that you may not have had the opportunity to learn about. And we believe in our classroom with all of our new courses that are qualifying courses, that are SAE courses that you need after your first year in the business. Then you have 2 years, in fact, to get your SAE together, and that's 98 hours. And I highly recommend a marketing course. The courses, again, are in our wonderful catalog, and you can find those online, www.championschool.com. So all these years, it has most definitely been heartwarming to see how we've grown our business at Champion School of Real Estate, because we absolutely want you to learn. Our goal, our expectation of ourselves is that we are quality, that whatever you pay for, you get your money's worth. Our textbooks are constantly updated. We have 5 people in curriculum that work on those daily. So as soon as new contracts are proposed and then voted on and then accepted, and the designation, and the definite date that we must use those new contracts, they will be in your new books. And we also have free seminars through live broadcasts so that we will teach you how to use any and all new contracts, because yes, there are new contracts coming down the pike very, very soon. So this is the format, this is the forum that we love, because it allows us to be in touch with all of our agents, students across the state of Texas, and to give you wonderful speakers like Dr. Gaines in January, Rogers Healy, who will be here on the marketing side next week at 9:30. And then we have our superstar panels, we have our technology updates, we have Ron Sassoon, who is happy to teach you about artificial intelligence and technology with Byron Underwood. Our goal is to make you as successful as you can be, and then it is a win-win. We thank you for your business today. Yesterday, last year, all of these 30 plus years in business. And with that being said, I am going to sign off and say, see you very shortly, when in fact we have another quarterly update for you. And again, it's all complimentary to our wonderful students that we appreciate so much. Enjoy your day, make money, and see you next time. Bye-bye.